All right, my first guest tonight is starring in the upcoming miniseries Pandora's Clock, airing this Sunday and Monday on NBC. And he is, of course, MacGyver. Please welcome Richard Dean Anderson.
Kind of a black thing, huh?
Yep. You guys look very sinister.
Like a jacket.
Yeah. Thanks so much for coming.
Well,
I met you out in L.A. We were doing
we...
some media junket thing, and I bumped into you.
We met in passing. Who would have thought it, after all these years, we'd see each other again?
I know. It came to happen. All right. Well, you know, it's funny because we were thinking today, you've had such a long career in TV, starting way back in
Relatively, yeah.
General Hospital, I guess you were doing in the 70s, right?
I did commercials prior to that, and prior to that, I did virtually anything I had to stay alive, not the least of which was juggling, mime. I had a job at Marineland of the Pacific.
You worked at Marineland? Were you like cleaning up after animals or anything like that? What were you doing at Marineland?
In a matter of speaking, yeah, it was a pretty glamorous job. I actually became at one point the entertainment director of the park, and I had to write a show for the killer whales. And I said, you know, I'm from Minnesota. Yeah, basic. I'm from Minnesota, so it's, you know, I hadn't seen a lot of marine mammals. So I wrote myself into the show, and one of the activities was to sit on top of a 20-foot ladder over this huge pool and have Orky, the killer whale, come up and snatch this fish out of my mouth.
What I think sounds more dangerous than that is being a mime, because everyone hates mimes. I got to be honest. I would think being a mime would be the most dangerous, actual, of the jobs that you've tried.
Other jobs that you're real proud of, yeah.
What were you doing being a mime? Did you like mime?
I was starving, Conan. I would have done anything at that point.
And you could just eat like a fake sandwich? I mean, I don't understand the logic.
Well, actually, I was somewhat anachronistic in the mime world because I was working at a place called 1520 A.D. Was a 16th century cabaret. And I was the only mime at the time that would talk, pick up a microphone and talk. It was like totally sacrilegious. But I get up and do song and dance.
Wait a minute. You're a mime and then you're talking as you're doing it.
I was a rebellious mime.
I'm in a box now.
I couldn't stand the fact that I was... Hey, young lovers. Get out of my box.
I've never heard of that, and then probably people liked it a lot more than the other kind of mime.
Yeah, and it's part of my past.
Were other mimes coming up to you saying, like, you sold out, man.
Oh, man, good for you! I was getting a lot of, you know, that kind of shame on you.
Well, you know, you actually have, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you've been, it sounds like all fun and games, but you've been hurt quite. You're a very physical performer, are you not? You've been hurt. You do a lot of stunts. Yeah. Also, in your personal life, you like to, you know, you like to take chances.
I have
a
penchant for misbehaving to the point of overextending myself to injury. I've broken, let's see, both knees. I had virtually surgically replaced last year from skiing and hockey. I've had back surgery from doing MacGyver for 7 years. Dislocated shoulders, 2 broken arms from hockey.
What do you do?
Well,
so you had 2 broken arms at the same time?
Same time, yeah. I was 15 or 16 years old, and it was like in high school, and where I was aspiring to be a member of the National Hockey League. Broke my left arm about 3 months later, or 3 weeks, I forget. I had a cast. 3 weeks later, had a cast on my left arm, got tripped. Fell on my right arm, it just shattered it, snapped it. It was dangling backwards. It was in the hospital for like
a mime bit thing.
Yeah, basically.
You incorporated into the act.
Literally, but it wrought havoc with all aspects of life, especially when you're 15 and you've just discovered your sexuality, basically. I mean, for those of us who did it at 15 or so. You can imagine having... You can imagine having a cast on your left arm, your right arm interaction. What are you going to do? Nurse!
Wait a minute!
Every little boy's fantasy.
No one needed help with that.
I didn't think you could turn any redder than you are.
Well, no, I mean, just, you know, we just lost Chuck E. Cheese as a sponsor. Our only sponsor is gone now, Andy. Oh, man.
Sad times.
What about, I want to ask you about MacGyver. You did that show for how many years? Was it 7 years?
7 years, 144-hour episodes, and then 2 movie specials for ABC.
Now, I want to tell you, this was an extraordinarily popular show here in America, but what I don't think a lot of people realize is this show has like a kind of a, you know, demigod status in Europe.
Yeah, it's like a perpetual animal right now in Europe, South America, Asia. I get requested to go over to Europe all the time and receive awards.
So wherever you go, actually, in Europe, then you can't get away from that. Are people asking you to build something out of, you know, available materials? And
well, MacGyver is so huge in France that it's evidently comparable to the popularity of Jerry Lewis, which is something I'm real proud of.
You're almost as good as Jerry Lewis.
I'll never be that good.
Incredible. All right, now tell us about the miniseries. Now, I've never seen a miniseries promoted like this one.
Boy.
NBC, Pandora's Clock.
Is it getting too much? I mean,
I don't know.
Are we about ready to see this thing?
I would think. I mean, it's the one where there's a virus that could destroy the world. I think it's a great idea for a show, and I'm not just shilling for the network. Believe me, I don't like most of the crap I see on TV, but this sounded like a good idea, actually.
Deep in here.
No, but it's not like a good idea. A virus. I'm being honest. You know me. You've talked to me most nights. I'm honest about these things. I thought a killer virus on an airplane and it can't land. That sounded like an idea I haven't seen before.
It's layer after layer. It's a hodgepodge of everything you could possibly want to see in a disaster movie for television. It just goes plot, subplot, CIA, assassination, hijacking.
None?
Well, fashion tips at the end, actually. That's in part 2. So it's got everything.
It's got everything.
It's huge, and it does take 2 nights. It's worth the investment to watch it.
Well, to retain my credibility, I think it sucks.
Good man. Good man. You got to balance it.
I didn't see it yet. No, I've heard. Oh, what can I do?
Good salesman right there.
Pandora's Clock is it's Sunday and Monday at 9 on NBC.
Yep.
And are you going to come back and visit us again?
I'd love to. You know, I liked you when I met you the first time. And
wasn't I a nice guy out there?
You
were the only big celebrity to talk to me.
Well, I'm the only one that would, regardless of celebrityness, no one would talk to you, it seemed. You're wandering aimlessly.
I was wandering around.
You're so unapproachable.
I have a show.
Genuinely a nice guy. I met him off camera. He's actually
Man, we're getting pretty deep here.
You did it with the network.
He got me, I got him. But we got friends. Come on.
Yeah, you did it with the network. I can do it right back.
All right. Richard Dean Anderson, thanks very much for coming.
Anytime.
Good to have you. Joe Queenan and Cake are coming up. You don't want to miss them. We'll be right back.